Welcome back to the Roar Podcast, the show for all things Hershey Cubs, players, coaches, personnel, and news. I'm Joshua Gearhart,
And I'm Ben Schad.
your hosts and broadcasters for the Cubs. On this episode, we are joined by Hershey Cubs premier captain, Jameson Flint. The Roar Podcast starts right now. Corey, down for the deep zone. Now Snowicki, there he goes, all alone. He scores! So, Jameson, you were the longest tenured Cub in franchise history. But can you take us back to the early stages of your career here in Hershey? What did that look like for you way back when?
Well, I didn't even know what this league was. So that was
What
that
did
was
you think it was, is the real question.
well, I knew it was junior hockey. I had no idea what level
Right.
or what stood between all the others. I mean, I only played, youth hockey double A for my entire life. So
Ah,
I
so you
never
never even
like
played AAA.
never played triple A.
Oh.
I stayed with the same club forever. Um, so, joining it as I had no idea what was going on. I was just playing hockey. Um, yeah, and then you start to learn everything once you start playing a bunch of games and figure out how everything works. Um, yeah, I like that. Fell in love with it.
Tryouts for you. How did that go for you? What was that like? And you got to go way back. I mean, we're talking your first ever tryouts about three some years ago. What
Yeah, I
was that?
remember it pretty vividly.
Yeah.
All right, so this gonna be a little longer. So
Go ahead. Go ahead.
so it starts off. So I'm playing youth hockey, with a couple of teammates from last year.
Hmm.
I played youth hockey with Davis Marchuk
Yep.
and Carter Kimmel
Okay.
on the same team, and uh, Carter was going out to the Cubs tryout because he, wanted to, and he's playing, I think, Skipjack's. No, he's playing Piedmont with us that year.
Okay.
And so he's like, just come out to the tryout. It'll be fun. You don't have to do anything. I was like, whatever, I'll just go.
It's ice time,
But
right?
yeah. It's like, I'll just go. It's not too much. We'll just go out and do it. We also have one of the owners, Bob, his brother-in-law was our head coach a couple years prior to that. So, we just was like, why not? We know everybody. So we went to the tryout, and the whole point was to just see where I stood higher up. And I had no intention of playing junior hockey that year. I was going to go to community college for 2 years, and I might play with the Potomac junior team. Like my idea was to go try out there and maybe play elite, or whatever team I made. I wouldn't. I don't think I don't think I would have made that prem team. Um, but the whole point is just go community college, go to college. Like, who cares about hockey? Um, so I get here, we go through the tryout. I felt pretty confident through the whole thing, and wasn't intending to make a team, but go out there, put 100% effort like I always do, and then you get that little paper on the boards, like your name will be on it, and
Yeah.
coaches will want to talk to you. And what do you know? My name was on it. It was like second on the list, and I was like, all right.
Like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, I think the
Here we
name
go.
above me was John Ryan.
Oh yeah, what a blast from the past that is.
Yeah. But we were the only two on that list, if
Wow.
I remember, that were on the tryout list. But I think John already signed.
He
So
might have. Yeah, he might have
he
already
already
signed
signed his
one.
contract. Johnny signed his contract there. I couldn't remember anyone else, but uh I think Rufy was there.
You might be right. I think he probably was. We're going, I mean, that was even before I was around too, because I was still like interning then. So that was we're
Yeah.
going way back in the archives
Yeah.
now.
But I was there, they brought me in the office. They said a bunch of good things. And it was just cool. I was like, oh wow, okay. And I didn't, so it was really confusing. Well, confusing for me. It probably wasn't confusing for them, but like they're like, yeah, we'd love for you to come play. But I didn't get handed a contract.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. So we went back in the car, we're talking about it, and I was sitting there like, they didn't give me a contract. So I wasn't like, do they want me? So we
Did
set
you
up a Zoom
did you
call.
ask? Did you ask for the
Well,
contract?
I ended up Yeah, yeah, he gave us his number and stuff. So I texted Brennan and I was like, "Yo, can we get a Zoom call? Because I'm confused, man." So we just talked about it. He's like, "Yeah, we want to give you a contract." I was like, "Oh, all right, could have just given me one there. We would probably would have signed it." So I was one of the last signings,
Oh
I
my
think.
goodness.
But
That's
I think me, I might have been the only tryout kid.
that's crazy. From going from one of the last signings to now the captain on the team. Ben, what do you have to add to this? This is a lot to unpack here.
I mean, this is quite a whirlwind
Yeah.
start. And all of a sudden, you get yourself involved in this, one of the, most widespread junior leagues in all of America.
Yeah.
What was kind of your first season like? Did you kind of get it from the start that like, oh, this is like, this is something serious, like guys really want to be here, or did it take a little while for you to get a grasp as to just how involved this was going to be?
Um, Kind of looking at it as a whole, it kind of was the opposite.
Oh,
Like my first couple, my first, if I remember correctly, because I remember stats for some reason. So
big stat guy.
my first 16 games, I had 10 points. My first year. I was like, oh,
That's pretty solid, dude. Like for your first year in the USPHL, I mean, that's pretty good.
yeah.
Like,
And I had no idea what I was doing positionally. Like I was terrible. But like I felt good. And then I got 3 points the rest of the season.
uh-oh.
Right. And that would have been 18
That would
something
have been
games.
like 18, yeah, 18 some games to
I
finish
played
out the year.
34 that year. Right. So you completely dropped off right after the New Year's. So it was kind of the opposite. I think I got a little bit too confident, but no, that team, remember that team was really, that was a good team. There was
That
a
was
lot
a
of
really good team that
skilled
year.
guys on that team and a lot of hard work you had to put in to kind of keep yourself in the lineup. And I was able to solidify myself as the 10th forward.
I mean, yeah, that team that year was really, really good. I know you weren't around the year for that year, Ben, but I mean that team was pretty special. So I mean, Jameson's right. I mean, for you to be in the lineup, it had to be, you had to put the work in to get there.
Yeah.
But going back, your first season, stuff like that, you talk about it a lot. Do you remember your first goal? Like, what was that moment like? And do you have the puck still from that moment?
I don't have the puck with me, but it's in my bedroom.
Oh.
Okay.
I have the hat trick one here,
There
but
it is. There it is. We'll get to that later. But walk us through that first goal. What was the emotions for you like in that moment?
it felt like more of a relief than excitement. And,
Okay.
all right, finally. And I think it was my fifth game. We played Rockets,
All right.
and I was on a line with John Ryan and Marco.
Yeah, what a line that was. What a line.
What an interesting line. Um, Terrible in the D zone.
Did y'all back check it all or no?
I was the only one, I think. John Ryan played all the defense for us. Um, but no, I think I saw the video. It kind of like I was like circling in our zone, and then it kind of popped up in the middle, and John Ryan got it, and I just started skating straight to the net. But the thing is, we're in our zone, so I just started skating towards the net, and then John Ryan just kind of lobbed it off the boards, and I was 20 feet ahead of the defenseman in front of me. It was just a breakaway.
Little cherry picking action going on, eh?
Yeah. I actually whiffed on the shot,
No, you did not.
and it went 5 hole, but it looked like I actually shot at 5 hole. If I didn't whiff, I was still scoring. I still had that goalie red, but
So, but that was totally not on purpose, right? Like you totally just actually whiffed on it and ended up going in.
yeah, and it was hard. It was a hard whiff. Like I didn't get under it, so it was just a
You
fall.
had to sell it. You had to sell the fake shot, you know? It
Oh
was
yeah,
it
it
was
didn't
all on
matter though. It
purpose.
went in the net, and I think we ended up winning that game because we were down 2-0.
Oh my goodness. Well, it all counts the same at the end of the day, right? It doesn't matter how it goes in.
Yeah, yeah,
But going also back to that season as well, everybody talks about that moment where they're like, wow, this is the big leagues now. For some, it's a big hit. For some, it's a crazy shift. What do you remember that was your welcome to the USPHL moment?
Okay, so literally first game against Elmira.
Well, that sounds about right. That checks out. That checks
We're in
out.
Elmira. I didn't really get laid out until my fourth game. I'll get back to the Elmira thing in a second, but
Okay, okay.
laid out my fourth game against Gatineau. Um, Kind of an elbow to the head, but it was like completely blindside. I was like turned all the way around, and Carson gave me a pass and just
Hospital pass.
Yeah, he apologized later for it. Uh, but like I went back, I was on concussion protocol for a game. But I think I was fine. But anyways, that was like my fourth game. First game, Elmira, I I got a beautiful slot pass from Marco. It would have been my first goal if I was a better shooter. And I got it, and I shot it directly into the goalie's chest, but I thought I saw it above his pad, so I went and whacked the goalie right in the stomach. And I think it's remember Tom Nachek?
I do
Really,
remember that name.
he started skating from the blue line towards me, and he went to hit me, and I kind of dodged him. And I'm sitting there like, oh my God, what is this guy's problem? This has never happened in double A. Right. And then the captain, Lex, came up to me and he's like, yo, you can't be doing that, man. I'm like, you guys, come on. Guys, the puck was right there. But that was kind of my moment. I was like, okay, these guys like actually care about stuff like that.
You can't get away with after the whistle stuff or the shenanigans like that. You
Yeah.
learn that really quickly, it sounded like.
Yeah. But I didn't really get knocked down that much my first year.
What was the moment that you remember really getting walloped for sure in your first year where you're like, all right, I gotta pick my head up a little bit sometimes.
I got hip checked in the Northern Cyclones showcase that year when we went to Boston.
Oh,
Or no,
yes.
we did some it's called the New England Showcase. I we were playing Islanders Hockey Club,
Always a good
and they had
program.
some guy that was just hip checking everybody. And I know I got table topped.
Oh my God.
The thing is, I didn't fully flip. I was able to catch myself on the other end, and I kind of just like like, it's kind of like the worm.
I did the worm.
I just kind of like landed like that, and then literally the next shift, I came back down on the other side, and I almost got put in their bench. Same hit, same type of hit.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So, at the beginning of the season, you were named the captain of the premier team. Can you describe that moment? What was that conversation like? What does the leadership role mean to you?
So the moment kind of knew it. I mean, I Brady kind of told me at the end of the year, the previous year, that I'd be the captain. So like, because I was the captain for the remainder of the season last year.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw it coming. So I didn't really have too much emotion about it. Like it was, yeah, cool. I'd have it for the whole year. I've been here for 3 years. I wanted to, I think the original goal was just to make sure I had an A,
Mm.
right? One of my last two seasons. So I didn't really expect to end up having the C. So it's cool to, actually be able to say that you were a captain of a juniors team.
Yeah. Ben, what about you?
I just something that you mentioned with having to, end the season as a captain towards the late run of last year, and to carry that over an off season. Was there any weight that came with that, or was there any kind of like stress of being like, okay, like all eyes are going to be on me starting next season, like I have to step up, or I have to kind of learn how to communicate with the locker room and get these guys to be serious for a minute when I speak up? Was there anything like that was kind of going through your mind over the off season, or were you kind of just like, are you used to being a leader, or as they like to say, natural born leaders, and you were able to just take that up from the get go to start this season?
So I'm actually going to start with the beginning of last year, because I think it kind of builds up into this. So beginning of last year, Rufy was named captain, and then I was an A along with Lakaitis and Barnett. And it was just, I think it was a couple of the returners. That's all they did is they just kind of gave it to the returners. But the beginning of the year, like obviously with the A, you're still a leader. And I think beginning of the year, when you talk to a couple guys and you get close to them, you ask those like those heartfelt questions is like, hey, do you think I'm a good leader? Like, is there anything I need to work on? Apparently I was too bossy. Um, which I could kind of see. I do the same thing with my brother. I'm a little bossy. Um, so I came across maybe a little too hard. Like I wasn't a very understanding person. Everything had to be by the book. So I think when I was given the C, I was more relaxed. I wasn't, screaming at people, giving big speeches and everything, but like it was just more kind of being the hard worker and just kind of leading by example, which is what I've done yeah, in my youth years from, my youth coaches said. So, I mean, I've always had a letter on my youth teams. I wouldn't say I'm born a leader. Like I don't know if that's the right way to put it. Like, because I don't know, I'm not Crosby. So, so I don't really know if I could say I'm natural born leader. It'd be nice to say that, but I don't really know. But like, you just kind of have to fill in those shoes. There was a little bit of pressure when I first got it, but we all saw it coming that year, and I just kind of took it and ran with it.
So you currently have the second most points on the team. And most notably, you scored your first ever USPHL hat trick against the Elmira Impact.
Here's Jameson Flint going in on the breakaway. The shot, he scores! It's a hat trick for Jameson Flint, and kiss this one goodnight.
How have you been able to produce on such a high level this season? We saw the puck earlier, but you've had a really solid year this year.
He'll drop it up for Bukowski, fires it, rebound, they score! Jameson Flint! Oh, captain, my captain!
Finally got the hat trick. Took a while. But, I wasn't a point guy my first year. Not at all. Just a depth dude. And I did the best I could. Um, Last year was a little difficult. We had a hard time scoring last year. I did manage to get third on the team, which was pretty nice. But then, yeah, this year, you're right. I think I'm second. Um, and so, I mean, it's kind of confidence, like the buildup of confidence each year. And once you spend a year in at a certain level, it's the same thing with youth. Your first year of 18s, usually people struggle. And then the following year, you see the explosion of, production. Their confidence goes up. So I think it's a mixture of that. Just my confidence is up. I just feel more comfortable at the level. Not nearly as scared of, getting hit or something like my first year or getting blindsided. I kind of know what to do now. So yeah, just I think it's just a confidence thing.
Ben, over to you then.
Was there any more added hunger going into this year that maybe has added to that confidence? I know last year you had a lot of injury troubles that were going on, and we didn't see it so much in the latter half of the season. So did that kind of add any additional fuel to being ready to hit the ice this year, getting ready for practice, and then producing at the clip that you've been scoring and assisting so far this year?
I mean, kind of. I don't really think too much about it because the more I think about it, the worse it's going to be for me because then I'm going to do too much. So I got to balance that interaction between thinking too much and just going out and playing hockey. And the one thing my dad says all the time is just like just go play hockey. Just skate around. Something will happen. So that's always been a thing um I did in my youth years as well. Just you don't think about it, stuff will happen.
So, after a crucial win against the Mercer Chiefs this past weekend, how are the vibes in the locker room as we get ready for the showcase?
Oh, definitely good. I mean, a 5-1 win against Mercer, a team that's, I think pretty competitive. I think that boosts the morale for the guys.
Absolutely.
So I think Detroit's going to be fun for us.
Do you think it'll be a good bonding moment for you guys up there for sure?
Definitely.
Definitely. Ben, turning it over to you then.
Yeah. So kind of what are your guys' kind of expectations for the weekend? Obviously, you're going to be playing some pretty tough teams out in Detroit. I know the schedule isn't really favorable in terms of just kind of how the athlete prepares. You guys have a somewhat night game and then a very, very early morning the next day. So when you get kind of handed something like that, do you guys have to are you keep taking it one game at a time? Is there a certain game that you guys are looking forward to, a certain talent level or player from these showcases? What do you guys look forward to the most when you go into these big hockey fests over a weekend?
Well, I think it's just the overall atmosphere that's pretty fun to be at. I think like last year we only did one showcase. Kind of kind of sucked. I wish I did more. Like my first year, I think we did four, which was awesome. And every single one was fun. You're there, everyone's playing hockey. You get to watch some of the best teams in the league play, some of the worst, right? So you kind of see that mixture of hockey. I think we can go. I think we're going the weekend excited. I think a lot of guys are excited for the Metro Jets game
Mm.
because I think we could make a statement, right? It's going to be difficult, right? That's a difficult, that's a difficult team. They're really good every year.
They just
But
got put top 10 in the power rankings this morning.
yeah, I think they're like fifth.
Yeah.
So it's like if we can go in there and kind of prove to everybody that's there that, we're actually legit, even though our record's not the best. I think that could send a message to a lot of teams in our division.
That would be a huge message for sure. So, what is your personal goal for this season, and what is your goal for the team this season?
Personally, I like to split my goals into like three categories. There's like
Okay.
statistics, personal stuff. So more like make sure I'm more responsible with myself, make sure I'm getting, and then there's school, right? Make sure I'm getting straight A's in community college because I am doing that. But hockey, it's usually just like stay healthy. I think this year I wanted to get 30 plus points. So not nothing too crazy, but definitely something I think I'm capable of. I mean, point per game would be nice, right? Get into that spot. So, which is possible. I could really, I think I could get there. A couple other guys on our team could do that. They would start stepping on the pedal. Um, but I think, yeah, it's just, I want to get 30 plus points. Obviously, I think team wise, team goals, I think we want to get to 500, struggle start, but we have, I think it's, what are we at 9? So we have 25 games left. So I think we could, you know, I was talking to Mac about this morning. I was like, we have to win. We'd have to win 18 games and lose 7 to get back to 500, which is a crazy turnaround. It's a lot of
Tall
wins.
order.
Yeah. However, if you make some of those losses OT losses, I think that it gets us points, right? We get back into the swing of things. I think if we really turn this around, starting this weekend, we could make playoffs.
I think that's a real possibility. I think if you guys have a good season turnaround and you have some favorable matchups coming down the road,
Yeah.
right? That's the big thing. You got some teams coming into your barn. You're going on the road against some teams that are definitely winnable opponents.
Mm.
So that's something that's, a positive looking ahead, Ben.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted to follow up on that because the schedule was definitely wonky this year, I think, to say the least. There's no doubt about it that you look at it and it's like, okay, we're playing, top four teams in the Atlantic Division, one of the stronger divisions in all of USPHL Prem.
Mhm.
And it's just a constant parade of Elmira. We always know what those games are going to be like. You guys opened up against Westchester and Wilkes-Barre Scranton, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe even the Connecticut Junior Rangers you guys played at some point, or
They
maybe not.
will. They will. They're coming up.
That's coming up.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so that's where I was getting confused. But still, Wilkes-Barre, Westchester, all those guys who are always top of the league, and then Elmira is always going to be a contest. How do is that in your guys' mind as a locker room, knowing that okay, we're playing against tough opponents, and that you are going pound for pound against them at least one game a weekend, and that you're all so close, and knowing that weaker opponents are on the way, or do you kind of treat all opponents as the same as look, these guys are against us? It doesn't matter what their record is. We just have to go out and play our game, and good things will happen.
Personally, I go into every game like that. It's a team, right? They might be better than the others. Sometimes it gets to my head a little bit, but um, I think there's like a lot of times where you said, like, oh, we're almost there. That happened a lot in the last 10 games.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, right there, 1 goal game. That game could have been an OT. Like a lot of these games we were playing could have been at least OT losses. So like, I think the Mercer game really just showed how much we want to get there. We just went out there and just went.
Total
And it
dominance from start to finish.
full 60. I mean, there's
Yep.
a little bit of a lapse in the second, but we were able to kind of make sure they didn't get a goal there. But like every single game has been, other than the first like 5 or 6 games, I mean, we're right there.
In a couple of these games, we've watched you get banged up pretty good. You got to go back to the start of the season against Wilkes-Barre. You had to get stitches in your upper lip region. And then
That was Islanders.
the Islanders, yeah, Islanders, you had to get stitches in your upper lip region. And then wasn't it Elmira or Westchester? You got your ankle banged up pretty badly and then had to leave the game for that.
That was Elmira. That was the hat trick
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, so you got a hat trick that game. You got injured in the ankle, came back, scored a hat trick. Let's talk about your toughness for a bit, right? Me and Ben see it on display every single weekend almost. And I mean, Ben, you can speak for yourself here. There's no doubt in
I,
our minds that your toughness is off the charts, man. Off the charts.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched you, have the trainers come out, look at you, and I watch you get off that ice. I'm like, there's no way in hell he is getting back on that ice. And
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, an intermission later, we look down there and you're on the bench and you're skating like nothing's happened. I mean, and it's no secret you're not, the biggest, most brawniest guy out there. So how do you stay so tough knowing that, your speed and your skill is kind of what people will see when they first look at you on the ice, but just like the toughness to just keep going after game stopping injuries where it looks like any other player would just take the night off.
Uh, Hat trick one with Elmira. I really thought about not getting out there because I did not trust my knee at all.
Wow.
Because it hit I sprained my MCL on the right side. So I did that a while ago, like my last 18U youth season. Um, and the kid, when he fell, he landed on the outside of my shin, and it kind of pressed on it. And my leg was kind of elevated off the ice, but it was stuck because obviously my hip's there. So when it landed, it just kind of went like that. So I totally thought I just tore something.
We're gonna have to put a viewer discretion is advised on this episode after that description.
Yeah, well, it wasn't good. It was like a hyper extension. So it was a little weird, and I was like, okay, I don't trust it. And then I was walking back to the locker room, without my skates
Mhm.
in full gear, and I was like, I feel fine. I don't know what the big deal was about that, but I'm just gonna go back out. And I think we just scored 2 goals, and we were or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Um, but it was like, okay, we might be back in the game. Like, let's put the gear back on and get out there and just help everyone out. As much as it might hurt or you might not trust it, um, just get back out there and do something. Um, I try not to leave the game. I
We,
don't
we
want to.
realize that. We've realized that.
Well, I didn't miss a single game last year.
And you didn't miss the game against Pal too when you got banged up in the face, right?
Oh yeah, I was so that one's fun.
I wouldn't know if I was the fun. I don't know if fun's the right word for that one.
Well, so one of my parents were watching. So when I was going around to the guy, I was forechecking a guy, and he passed the puck up, and I went to go finish my hit, and this dude just sends his stick, like cross check right to the face. You could see it on the video. His stick come up and hit me in the face, and he hit me on the lower lip,
Mm.
and my head jerked back, and then I smacked the ice on the back of my head. Like the first thing that hit the ice was my head. And I'm sitting there on my back, just kind of like, oh my God, that hurt. Like that sucked. And I'm over here like, oh, my teeth are gone. This is really bad dental. Um, and I'm looking at it and I'm like pulling my teeth. I'm like, okay, teeth are fine. And I'm sitting there spitting up blood. And I mean, I was spitting up. There was a puddle this big of blood, and another puddle was forming because I was spitting. So there was this area of the ice like this much, just covered in blood.
Oh my gosh.
So our goalie that was on the bench thought my neck got cut open.
Oh.
Um, but I'm sitting there like all fours, like spitting up the blood, and then the trainer comes by. He's like, all right, put this on your mouth, and I cover it, and it's still just, I mean, it's just
Still
kind of,
discussion.
it's just building up, and I gotta spit it out, and there's just this massive puddle, and my parents were watching. The camera zoomed away. You couldn't see, and all you hear is the guys going, man, there's so much blood on the ice. Like that's a lot. You could see it from here. And and then they turn the camera back and you
There's
see
just
this
you.
trail kind of coming off the net. And so I get to the locker room and I gotta look at this because I can feel the hole in my lip. But the thing is, there's so much adrenaline, you don't feel anything in that. So I like it's not burning if I touch it. So I'm over there in the mirror, like kind of looking at it. I'm like, wow, there's a hole. My canine tooth went through my mouth. I was like, okay, teeth were great. Not a single thing was wrong with my teeth.
I don't know how. You must have got really lucky.
Yeah, probably. I don't wear a mouth guard, so
Wait, you don't wear a mouth guard?
no.
Whoa, wait, wait, back up the truck. How do you not wear a mouth guard and kept all of your teeth intact?
I wear
Drinking
visors.
milk.
Like
You are
it's
one lucky man, and you wear a visor.
yeah. Uh,
You might be the luckiest man alive.
Probably. I don't know.
He said probably.
Uh, but I'm sitting there, I'm looking at the mirror, and I'm like, God, this is awful. And it's just oozing, and because it's just an open
Yeah, it's
wound,
an open wound, yeah.
and the lip is completely split in half, and it's like kind of like it was it was bad, and I was just like, give me a bubble. We're about because I mean, what else am I gonna do? Go to the hospital? No one's there to take me to the hospital. And so I was like, I got to put this bubble on. It's too big for my helmet, so it's a little bit large. And so I get back out there, and I gotta kind of talk like, I don't know, it's a really like I couldn't talk as much. But anyways, I get back out there at the bubble, and I think the game it was tied, I think. So I was like, I have to go back out. I have to help the team out. And so I get back out. We ended up going. I got an assist on our third goal that got us the lead. And then we came back down and they brought it back to OT. And then, or sorry, before OT, we tied it up and I sent Mac the breakaway pass that took us to OT. And then I almost got a third assist on Mac because he got another breakaway. And then he missed the breakaway. So I give him crap for that all the time. But
From what I'm hearing, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, it almost sounds like you play better hurt.
Yeah, maybe when that adrenaline's going or,
You
or
don't
or
know what
something.
that
I mean,
is.
again, we thought you were donezo that game.
Yeah.
You come back on the bench and you score one, and it's like, okay, we enjoy the off the floor on the board kind of deal, and then you do it two more times over. It's just like maybe it's some kind of superpower or something.
I don't know.
But anyway, after this season, what are your future aspirations? Have you committed anywhere? What's the goal for you after
I don't
Hershey?
think they've announced anything because obviously I haven't gotten into the school yet. I haven't sent the application, but the George Mason Acha one team.
Wow. That's a great school, dude. Congratulations.
It's a really big school,
It's a huge
but they
school.
have zero campus life
That's
from
what
what.
I've heard. I think it's a big suitcase school from like a commuter perspective, from what I heard.
Yeah, 150,000 enrolled students, but there's only like 15,000 kids on campus.
Wow. I mean, Ben Millersville wasn't that big, but it was most definitely a suitcase school, so we can relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually applied to George Mason way back when, and it is a great campus, and they've got just a little bit of everything out there. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that would be huge. We wish you best of luck if that's where it takes you. But man, that'd be a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, I have verbally told the coach I'm going to your school.
Awesome.
But
Nice.
with the community college I'm doing, it's I just all I have to do is submit it's called guaranteed admissions agreement. So I already have a degree, which is even weirder to say as you're playing junior hockey. Right? So it's like you have a degree, all I have to do is just transfer my status over to George Mason. So, but I can't do that until December. So,
Well, we wish you all the best. I think George Mason will definitely be getting a great guy, but an even better player. And a couple last questions before we wrap this episode up. Over the entirety of your Hershey Cubs career, What are some of your favorite memories, past or present?
Um, a lot of first year memories.
Okay, hit us with it.
My
Hit us with it.
favorite. First time we saw you, we thought you were a player.
Like on the team?
Yeah, you because you showed up one time, like it was the Wilkes game. You just hopped on the bus with us.
No
No, the
one.
Jersey showcase.
Yeah, it was the Hitman Classic showcase, and you guys thought I was a player?
Yeah, we all thought you were just a new guy.
No one really knew me. No one talked to me, so y'all thought I was a player. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Did you guys
Um,
know I was coming or no?
no, we had no,
So
we
you
had
just thought I was some random guy that you guys just picked up at a trade or something?
yeah, we just like like always like who the heck is this guy? Speaking of that showcase, one of our players forgot his jerseys.
He forgot all of them?
Yeah, every single jersey.
What happened? How did you guys fix that?
I don't know. I think someone ended up driving up. So someone ended up driving themselves to the showcase, and I think they took his jerseys up. So he just didn't play the first game, and he was like the thing was this like the one game he was like on the like one of the higher lines as well. They forgot his jerseys for it, so it kind of sucked.
Uh, this first year's got a lot of good ones. A lot of from the Hitman
Yeah,
Classic. Anything else from your first year?
got to keep it PG, so that minus is like more than half of them. So, but another good one from the first year is when we did the Elizabethtown like
The parade or something?
hot deli.
Oh, the Spot Deli. Yes, okay.
We did the
Shout out to them for all they do for the team.
scavenger hunt. That was a good day. I
Did you
remember that
win the
one.
scavenger hunt?
I think my team we were winning. I have no idea what place we were in. Like we could have been dead last, but we had so much fun with it, so I didn't really care.
What about more recently? More,
Um,
yeah.
like this year?
This year, last year, whatever.
This year I've had a lot of fun at the community service events this year.
Awesome.
The year prior, Detroit Showcase was a blast.
What'd you guys do up there? That's PG.
Probably nothing.
Yeah. Well, it's Detroit. There wasn't much to do other than sit in a hotel and watch movies and talk. So a lot of like shenanigans, right? But
What'd you guys do at the hotel? Any pranks at the hotel y'all pulled?
leaners, obviously.
What'd you guys do?
You don't know a leaner?
No, I've never heard of that.
Right, so you fill up a trash can with water and you lean it up on the door so when they open it, it just spills into
Uh,
the room.
Who'd you do
Oh,
that to?
I think the goalie room.
Do you guys bring like mini sticks to these hotels and stuff like that too?
We did one year, and that was last year. We brought mini sticks,
I
and
can
nobody.
imagine that was probably like absolute chaos.
Yeah, I think we like set up in a hotel room because we couldn't go in the hallway, and yeah, it just wasn't really that much fun. But it was a good time. It was a good time last year.
So, moving forward, if you had one piece of advice for future Cubs players, what would it be?
Take it seriously.
I love that.
Like a lot of guys don't take it seriously, even though you might be like, oh, it's not the highest levels of junior, right? But it because it isn't. Um, but I have to say, there's some good players in the league, and there's some really bad players in the league. But you know, but it's you got to take it seriously because it is still juniors, and it's everyone's trying to advance. So, the best use of advice is take it seriously. I mean, you're dictating your future when you play juniors.
Yeah, you made a really good point there. Ben, over to you.
just one last question from me, kind of to springboard off that. I mean, what makes Hershey special to you, right? Everybody has a different story, everybody has a different background and connection to this place, but what makes Hershey stand out to you and why you've been here for now 3 years as part of this team?
Well, part of it is I told myself first time I signed that. Well, when I found out you could do 3 years, right? I was like, I'm gonna be doing this for 3 years because why not? You get all 3 years, just do it. Didn't really know what I wanted to do in college, anyways, so it's just kind of a good time to figure it out. Um, but I think like I mean, obviously the stadium's cool. Like that was kind of like an incentive the first year, and it kind of turned in more like it's quiet. There's not too much going on, right? There's not tons of traffic in Hershey. Everyone's
You haven't been here during tourist season then, buddy.
well, yeah, I'm not here in the summer, so
I was about to say, come here when there's a concert, you might think a little bit differently about that.
but like there's not like big city traffic.
No, I get it. It's
Right.
not like
So,
Nova traffic. It's not like you're trying to fight for your life on 95. I get it.
yes. So it's a whole lot more peaceful. And I just met nothing but good people here. So it would just make sense for me to stay here for 3 years and just kind of and also be a part of something that's kind of bigger than me.
Mm.
Um, and say that I was a part of something. Hopefully that turns into something special. So that's the other one.
Now you do bill it with the family, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I built it with the diamonds.
What is
They're,
your relationship with them and what do they mean to you?
well, that's a deep question. Well, again, it's a second family.
Yeah.
They take care of you, and I appreciate that a lot. I think that's some people in my family are like, that's insane that you would take some random people, especially playing hockey, right?
Yeah.
Not all of them are the cleanest guys on the planet.
Leaners, case in point.
Yeah, so it's like I think it shows how much I think they really care for other people, and that's just really special for me and my brother to be a part of, and so we just appreciate them a lot. I think that not you can't say thank you enough for how much they've done for us.
Last question before we wrap up. You are playing with your brother this season.
Oh yeah.
What is that opportunity like for you guys? Do you keep it playful? You keep it serious? And I think for you, I mean, like it's got to be pretty special.
Well, I've always been a much more intense person than he is. I'm passionate about every single thing I do. And he's not. He knows that. And so there's a lot of times where we'll definitely have fun majority of the time, but there's that other, 25% of the time where it's like, hey, this is serious, and I got to make sure that he stays in line because, I know I'm taking it serious and I kind of want to make sure that he does too. So sometimes I get a little hard on him, but like at the end of the day, it's just two brothers playing hockey with each other. So.
You both have had a lot of great, moments here in Hershey. What, looking back now, so far in this year between you two, what memory will always stick with you as brothers playing together in the same team?
When we connected for a goal at Potomac against a hometown team. So that's pretty nice. As much as a terrible assist, I tell him all the time, is awful. Because he shot it right at a dude and it just smacked off his stick right to me. Um, it's kind of cool. It's like, oh, we got points together, so it was nice. And then I think the other thing is like at practice, we have the worst chemistry of all time. We have no idea who's going to shoot or pass. And I think I know the answer to it, and he thinks he knows the answer to it, but I don't think anyone that really knows what the answer is for that. So,
Ben, any parting thoughts before we wrap it up here today?
Just I think you definitely have a hockey IQ to you, Jameson. I think it absolutely shows when you go out there on the ice. And I've only been here for 1.5 years technically, but the growth that I've seen out of you has been tremendous to watch. And thank you so much for joining us. And best of luck to you in the future and all your endeavors, whatever they may be. But I mean, you've had a heck of a season so far, and let's finish it out strong.
thank you.
So, with that, we thank Jameson for joining us on this edition of The Roar. I'm Joshua Gearhart alongside Ben Schad. Find us on YouTube, Hershey Cubs The Roar, as well as at Hershey Cubs on Instagram, X, and TikTok, or Hershey Cubs on Facebook. Hit that like button, subscribe, and follow us on all accounts. And remember, fans, fear the roar.